along with a nice big steak. And it's imperative to keep your cholesterol.
Well, I'll tell you, since I started doing what you said 3 years ago, because at first with longevity, I knew it was good products, but I just never took vitamins, couldn't make myself do any of it. Since I started doing everything at InfoWarsHealth.com that you recommend with the videos there to train people, I've lost more than 50 pounds. I got up to 279, and I have so much more energy. My skin looks better, my stamina, just everything. And that's what I had this morning was 4 poached eggs and spinach. And that's basically what I eat is fish, red meat, and eggs, and then raw salad and other vegetables. And I just feel like I'm 20 years old. I mean, I feel like I'm ready to tear people's arms off. It's just amazing.
I'm glad you're a member of the club. It's, yeah, absolutely. And of course, we have documented in the book Epigenetics, as you point out, all the double-blind research projects that were done to prevent and reverse Alzheimer's disease. We know how to prevent Alzheimer's disease. We know how to reverse it. I've diagnosed Alzheimer's disease by 4 neurological clinics at the University in North Carolina. And in 5 days' time, this guy gets up, gets dressed, walks out of the nursing home. He was in a coma, ready to die. 5 days later, he gets up, gets dressed, goes back to work. That was 5 years ago. He's still going, and no Alzheimer's disease anymore.
Talk a little bit about the Rockefellers and how they took over the different branches of medicine in the last 100 years.
Okay, well, that all started about 1912. The Rockefeller Institute and the Carnegie Institute, you know, the steel guys.
The usual suspects, they're the one financing riots against the police right now.
Yep, exactly the same bunch. They actually hired a retired university president, a guy by the name of Flexner. And Flexner was to do a report and look at the top 130 medical schools in America and find out which one of them, or thems, I suppose, if you're from the South, they would, they would, and I'm from the South, so I can say that. But at any rate, they were looking for the medical schools who would train medical students on pharmaceuticals instead of herbs and homeopathy and nutrition. They found 30 of them out of the top 130, and they began to give them money to hire the best professors, the best equipment. They gave grants to medical students to go there. So all the other medical schools sort of died on the vine, not because they attacked them directly, they just died on the vine for lack of funding, compared with the medical schools who were using pharmaceuticals. And of course, Rockefellers and the Carnegies began to buy up all these pharmaceutical companies and start new companies and give patents for drugs and all that kind of stuff. Well, it turns out that at the same time, through giving money under the table to the elected officials at the national, the state, the county, and the city levels, they were able to make the medical profession a protected monopoly, self-policing with no oversight by any other agency. Then along came insurance. That was the death knell of Americans, was the insurance thing. Because people would say, well, I don't care if you can help me for $3 a day, because I can get my leg cut off for nothing through insurance. And so they'd always take the more drastic treatment because insurance would pay for it rather than the one that would save their lives.
Well, sure, and if you go back until about 100 years ago, only elitists could go to medical doctors in most cases, so it was seen as a status thing. So you have the sycophantic worship of MDs. And an MD is great if I got a hernia or a broken leg or a gunshot wound, and a lot of them are great people and know this information. But under Obamacare, they're now centralizing everything, where the MDs will now be total slaves of the computers. It's come out that the veterans are on don't treat list. And I think that's why alternative medicine and stuff is exploding right now, is the pressure of the medical system collapsing into total corruption, and any good parts of it basically dying is forcing people to alternatives. Briefly, Dr. Wallach, speak about the Alex Pack that we call it, Beyond Tangerine 2.0, and the hundreds of products at InfoWarsHealth.com or InfoWarsTeam.com. And we'll also briefly put the number on screen for InfoWarsTeam.com and InfoWarsHealth.com so I can give folks the numbers. It's 888-789-9277 to any orders or to ask any questions, 888-789-9277, InfoWarsTeam.com, or you can also go to InfoWarsHealth.com. You can get 30% off on all of the products. When you sign up to be a distributor, that just costs $10 to be a distributor. Then you can buy it and resell it however you like, be a distributor, or you can retail buy it there on the site. And you can also sign up for auto ship and get free shipping, very substantive. Again, 888-789-9277. Customer service, 888-636-9277. So there it is. You can also send questions to Catherine@Infowars.com. And you've got the Infowars team there. And that ends up going to the great folks at Longevity. And then you've got the actual in-house Infowars folks and InfowarsHealth.com that can also answer your questions. So that's the reason we have two different sites, two different divisions to make sure we've always got service 24 hours a day, the informational videos and more, InfowarsHealth.com. We're going to go to break and come back with that question for Dr. Wallach to specifically speak about the products. But in 30 seconds, what are the main products from Longevity folks need to get, Dr. Wallach?
Well, I like the Alex Pack, and thank you for loaning us your credibility because this is a great thing. It's going to bring more and more Americans to health. The Alex Pack is made up of 3 products, the Beyond Tangerine 2.0, the OsteoFX Plus, which is a mixture of our minerals and calcium and vitamin D3, and the EFA Pluses, which are the omega-3, 6s, and 9s in proper ratio. This gives you everything you need to do, prevent as many as 900 different diseases. If you have any diseases, you take the...
We'll stay there. We're going to break it down the other side. Dr. Joel Wallach. Take the iodine out of the salt and put fluoride in the water. I mean, you know, keep folic acid out. This is just out of control. We're going to keep our guest, Dr. Wallach, a little bit with us in the next hour. And then Gerald Salente is joining us. I wanted to get him on today about the war on cash, these other announcements. But speaking of Infowars.com, I saw this last week and even said on air, I bet it's a psyop, I bet it's a false flag. Wasn't a hard prediction. About, guesstimation, 99% of the time, a cross is burned in somebody's yard now, or a swastika is put on a Jewish synagogue, or a dorm, or it's done by people to get attention and raise funds. And now a liberal globalist attorney has gone on KXAN locally and admitted they put up the stickers saying white only on businesses for Black Lives Matter. Adam Raposa, activist lawyer, says he's behind whites only stickers in Austin. I mean, stirring people up, false flagging, George Soros crud. That's all. Meanwhile, we're all going under deficiencies. If you're black in the studies, look it up. Fluoride hits you twice as hard in your heart, your pancreas, your thyroid. I mean, black people, it's a death sentence. Nobody's going to tell them from their community because they're all bought and paid for. I mean, you know, so they're going to have some, lawyer stirring up trouble. And it was all over the news. How dare these whites put that on their things? This is all made up. There's such little racism by whites. Most whites are these politically correct, knee-knocking, totally... There's not racism. This political correctness makes white people feel guilty and scared. I mean, I'll be with politically correct people out eating dinner sometimes, and black people sit down next to us. And it's so annoying. I got some family friends that I love, dearly love. We were out to lunch Sunday, and some black folks sat down next to us, and she started going, I went to Memphis last year, and, you know, and she's so sweet, but, you know, saying it loud so they can hear it. And, you know, I went to the civil rights thing, and Martin Luther King was so great and all this stuff. And she just always does that. And it's just whites are so uncomfortable and so, oh, my gosh, this is wrong. Meanwhile, the Democrats are running around putting up signs everywhere saying go after blacks when they actually want to abort all the black people. They're the real racists, in my view. Infowars.com has the story. Dr. Joel Wallach, we're going to hold you a little bit over. If you can do it, if you got to jump, I understand. I know you're a busy man. But what do you make of Angelina Jolie having her ovaries removed, again, saying because she's genetically bad? What's really going on there? Having her breast cut off as well. A lot of women going and having this done now.
Well, I appreciated when you introduced that at the beginning of your show today. You said, well, next thing is she'll have her brain taken out to avoid brain cancer.
Yes.
And I've been saying the same thing for years. And basically,
I know, that's where I heard it. I listened to your show.
Okay. Well, basically, this is a thing where the medical doctors are using people's fears to just get work. And it's a tragic thing. And absolutely, if you look at the title, the subtitle of the book, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, there are no genetically transmitted diseases. Your genes, let's say you have the potential to be 200 cancer-free, but you're living on soft drinks and hot dogs and cake and popcorn, and you're going to, as you pointed out, very well done, that you're going to die of something at 36 when your grandparents have the same genes. They live to be 102, but they didn't do all the bad things you did. And
break down the difference when we come back. 70 seconds. Absolutely. InfoWarsHealth.com, folks. Get the Alex Pack. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Thank you for listening to GCN.
70 seconds, folks. Stay with us.
Visit GCNlive.com today.
think she already had her brain removed.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.